think you have my baby.
You're not my parents.
Maybe it's not as innocent as you think.
I can't trust anyone. What else do you think she's hiding? Everything's unraveling. Why are you doing this to me?
And that is my feeling towards this movie. What a movie. This is Amiah Sunday. I haven't done any Amiah Sundays in weeks, but I'm trying to keep it down low, keep it simple, put out the ones that matter. The only thing that left to look forward to is the Madison, if it ever comes out. But aside from that, what did I put as a comment? Well, I tried to love it. It's mid, but not Amiah's fault. The movie was trying to do too much, but ended up in conformity. Well, my first comment of this whole movie, that is on demand. It's streaming. I think it's Jeff Fisher directed it. Nothing memorable that he directed that I saw. It is based on a novel. I don't know what was it trying to be? What was this trying to be? Now, this was produced by Republic Pictures, Paramount by Republic Pictures, which you may recall produced Batman and Robin serials, the second one. The first one was by Columbia. And also they did the first live-action Superman movies, the serials. 2 sets of 15 chapters. I'm currently watching Atom Man vs. Superman. I would rather be watching that right now. What was the problem with this? It was trying to do. Now, the first 5 minutes, before we even get, and I don't know, so much was done with that. I don't know if it was Scream or Scream 2 kind of intro where you see the people and you see the, Sophia Bush, Amiah Miller, Chris Cormack. Like, we see the actors and then their names before we even get to the movie. I mean, I don't like that kind of thing. It's like, okay, if you've never heard of these actors, I see with Sarah Paulson in Hold Your Breath, I didn't know who she was. Now, there was no promotional stuff other than what was just online. Just put out the movie. Strangely enough, and I'm going to embarrass, either I'm going to make Amiah mad or I'm just going to embarrass her. Amiah Miller actually reposted or put in her stories the trailer. I would always try to catch what stories were unavailable. And Amiah would always have story unavailable, story unavailable, story unavailable. And I wonder, what is she taking down? Is it nudie pic? No, it's like nudie pictures, which is sort of a theme in this movie later on, but we'll get to this. No, she was promoting the movie, but then she took it down. And I'm like, that's a head scratcher. Like, what's going on there? I don't understand. So she took down the stories for the movie, which is telling. But aside from that, there were no red carpet live in-person promotional things like Amiah did for Hold Your Breath. There wasn't the whole like 50, 100 photographers and people signing autographs, like hanging around, or no big gala event. I guess Sarah Paulson has more pull, I guess, than Sophia Bush. But I know who Sophia Bush is because I remember One Tree Hill and that one cop show she did. Chicago PD, I guess. So I know who that is. Chris Carmack, I might have seen him before. So at least I know some of the other actors besides Amiah. This movie was trying to do too many things. Was it a horror movie? Was it a thriller movie? Was it a mystery movie? What was it trying to do? It was trying to do too many things. I don't know what Jeff Fisher was doing. The first 5 minutes where Amiah talks about, she goes a little like narration is kind of cool, right? It's like, I like the first 5 minutes and that's about it. Then it starts to dip into like mediocrity.
Can you pinpoint the exact moment you lost your innocence?
I was getting to that. I think just I might have talked about that already in another YouTube video, but yeah, I lost my innocence after this. So you got the one actor playing the father, the biological father. So what's happening here is Amiah plays Katie. Now she's a sexy cheerleader. Supposedly she has a naughty cheerleader fake kind of OnlyFans account, right? That's like, what is this about? Which never gets answered, by the way. Her morality of, luring people to look at her never gets answered in this movie. A lot of gaping plot holes here. So she has two parents. One is Chris Cormack, and then there's Sophia Bush. But then they find out that they had the wrong child. So this was mistaken identity. Two babies got switched at birth, and each one lived their whole life with each other's parents, which kind of reminds me of a Dateline episode where the father never saw the daughter. The daughter was taken away from the father and never wanted to see the father ever again, even though she never knew him, and he was heartbroken about it. That's heartbreaking. There's nothing more heartbreaking if you have a child and your child was stolen from you, and then your child never wants to see you ever, even though there was never a reason for that. For Joey Diaz, that's one thing, but in this movie, Katie finds out from this father, the guy who, the biological father, the one who ends up like kidnapping her and drugging her, going after Sophia Bush, seducing Sophia Bush. Later on, the mystery is unraveled with the dead mother coming back, and I know there's spoilers here, but really, what you really care about the spoilers. The spoilers seem about worth it because it kind of reminds me of that episode of Canon, with William Conrad, in which he finds he finds the daughter of the father who's looking for his lost daughter. It's some actor being paid to pretend to be the daughter, and then he finds the real daughter on a ranch. That's kind of like a better story, but this movie was trying to do too many things. It was confusing. The problem, too, besides trying to be a horror movie and a mystery movie and a thriller movie and a father-daughter. And by the way, maybe it's because there's a boyfriend character. It's because he got the brother haircut. He's got the brother haircut. You know what I mean? But it looks like her real brother's haircut. But we end up finding out that the boyfriend character is actually her biological brother, and she does a strip tease. And after the strip tease, he tells her, "Oh yeah, I'm your real brother." And well, that's fucked up. And then you got these mean girls, the mean rival cheerleaders, who break one girl. I like the stunt work, by the way, at the beginning of this. And they take Katie's phone and give it back to her like the next day. You know what happens if you take Amiah's phone? She goes back to her father's training. She will pound the shit out of you if you try to take her phone. Yeah, try doing that to Amiah. You don't do that. You could do that to Katie, but you can't do that to Amiah. She'd pound the shit out of you. It's funny. So I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think it's great that characters are written for the actors in real life all the time, but the problem here is that people will say, well, acting is art imitating life. And that is something I learned when I was 18 or 19 years old. I learned that acting is art imitating life. The problem is when people play telephone, they don't do the research. Remember East Los High? What a mess. So it's people copying off of people's homework. We need another Batman. We need another Star Wars. We need another this. We need another that. And they don't do the research. Like George Lucas came up with a series of ideas that led him to do Star Wars. Batman was a 1989 Batman with Tim Burton was a happy accident. Like he just came upon this and it created a whole new thing. It's art imitating art now. It's not art imitating life. So you got characters seducing other characters. The father hitting on Sophia Bush, putting his hands on her and kissing her in the car. And it feels like acting scenarios. Like the actors all know each other professionally in real life. So they can kind of be in that world, but then completely forget that in real life, if real people did this, like, isn't there some level of professionalism? Even the most professional of characters. I mean, this guy's supposed to be a mastermind here, and he fails at it miserably. Wouldn't there be some kind of, I don't know, like just some level of realism that would pace the characters better? The whole time I just felt like nothing was coming together right. So I'm going to give this score. Here's my score. 2.5 out of 5, well deserved. I wouldn't watch this again. There's better things out there. The Madison, Amiah is more interesting than this.